Sure, I'm glad I came out here tonight.
I was worried it wasn't gonna storm anymore this year.
I left for a week. Back in. All right, start with the approval agenda for April 6th. Motion and a second. Do you have any discussion or changes? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Both same sign. Motion's carried. Next is approval of minutes for March 23rd.
I will move.
I'll support.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? None, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Both same sign. Motion's carried. Next is approval of the consent agenda.
I'll move.
I'll support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? Just a note, Rick Armentrout's retirement has been posted on there. So make sure we do something for Rick. Do something. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Both same sign. Motion's carried. Next is supervisor report. I was out for this past week, so I'm behind to catch up with emails. One of them we have a discussion on unfinished business. That's with the AT&T lease. We'll get to that point. Also want to note, I got a text from Dave Collin last week saying they would start Monday, and sure enough, we started Monday. So that's definitely some work going on over there. And if you haven't been over that way, also notice that the Kinross Lodge is also prepping to have more units added. So they should be adding 2 more full units this year, this summer. Fire hall's getting worked on, adding more housing units over at Kinross Lodge. So it should be interesting. Other than that, right now I got nothing else to add. Public comments, 3 minutes per person in regards to the agenda at this time. See Joe back there, I'll take it to jump up the top. Okay, no public comments. Business of the fire department. Fine, everything's all squared away, moved around.
Yeah, just, think it was, you know, what we're gonna do for now, so just one bathroom in that building.
That's a good discussion to have there.
So, I was earlier today, but you weren't in, so.
Well, I was, but you were fighting that out.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, third birthday, I guess.
Tomorrow, I'll be here.
We had a fire Friday night, over on, Shadowwood, I wish you did. It's the same people that had a same fire on the other side of that duplex on Fort Shadowwood a year ago. I was informed that there is no insurance on that home, that the person was renting the home to, or the person that owns the building has no insurance. I talked to Red a little bit today, and we gotta do something about maybe getting that building condemned when they cannot. It's not fixable. It's trashed.
Is there a fire inspector or something?
I called one, that night. Nobody's coming till Thursday. The guys can come up and look at it. They're gonna bring the dog through, walk it through, make sure there's no accelerants. Other than that, that's all I have right now. So they come up with their report. That's all.
To find out from them, or what needs do you have to go through that to be done?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll talk to him about that while I'm be there.
County building inspector might be one to talk to.
Because the other side is still not fixed. Matter of fact, there's no front window on the other side. It just has a couple sheets tapped to the inside of the wall. I believe DPW was there earlier this week, pulled the meter and shut the water off.
Which we did send them a letter before to board up it, and they never did.
And see,
Unfortunately.
we'll move forward with that. It's only option to look at what he's got to do too. See if we need to get some, go further, the health department can get involved.
Yeah, cause if the guy doesn't have insurance on it, I don't know who owns it, I don't know if you guys could reach out to him and talk to him what he's gonna do with it, but other than that, it's just gonna sit there and be a nice story right on the corner.
No, we won't let it go that long.
Other than that, that's all I got.
Any issues, responding to the new location?
Takes a little bit longer, it's kinda uneasy that me and Christina were the only ones on the truck that night, leaving the building down there, but when I pulled it around the corner, I had, 4 standing there in their gear already, cause they're carrying their gear with them.
Okay.
It's good and it's not good, because you show up with your gear onto a scene, you don't have a truck, people are gonna be like, what are you doing?
Right.
People just gotta be in line, it's gonna be a little bit, I mean, we got paged out at 8:31, we were on scene at 8:42, so.
Still had to put out that.
And we kept it to that room,
Anyways.
we kept it to that living room, there was some smoke extension, but most of the fire was in the living room.
Okay.
So it was a good knockdown on that, guys, they did a good job.
Awesome, thanks. Good job with the fire department. NEMSA, up until a little bit ago, I had nothing to report, but they had an accident with an ambulance 2 days ago. We assume it's totaling the ambulance. So the issue comes in is that as per the agreement with NEMSA, the township owns the equipment until it's no longer serviceable, and then we would get it back, and we would get new equipment. Well, we're into that position where it's no longer serviceable. As far as we know, it hasn't come back total yet, but all the airbags blew out, so I'm assuming it's gonna be a total piece of equipment. So we're still paying on the lease because it's only a 1-year-old ambulance. So the lease is still being, paid for by them. I mean, NIMS is covering the lease. And I think once we get down to what the insurance is gonna do and whatnot, come back to the board, but I think we should consider, that letting that, insurance money come in to pay under the lease for what's owed on that truck, and then have that, they take care of the balance of the lease, and let them go ahead and order a new truck. So it's not doing this, they're still gonna have to pay on the lease if we keep the money, because it's by right what we could do, but I think we're also still responsible for the lease, even though they're paying it, so I think that we have to consider that when that time comes. Just something to be thinking about. I actually don't have to. We did it with those. I'll also let you know that, we're gonna be, wrong one, I was right. I didn't want to make a motion that we pay 6 months of our, what we owe NIMSA, give them for the 6 months early, and then we'll wait for the balance when we get down to the final, what the final course gonna be for the year, and what we would owe. Mike, do you know what the net number was? I was gonna ask you that today and I forgot.
What the 6 months comes
Yeah.
to? It was somewhere around 190,000. It was like 22,000 a month. No, not 190,000. Bad math. Yeah, $130,000.
$130,000.
Yeah, I think it was.
So I just want to make a motion that we pay 6 months of our dues to NEPSA. And it's to help them keep themselves a little more financially stable until all their money starts coming.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have a discussion?
Is that gonna put us in any sort of, we would pay that all off right now, are we gonna be behind on anything? Is that?
No, that's all coming from the 5 mils. We have that money's coming in. So.
Okay.
And the balance will sit there, just sit in the bank earning interest until we decide to pay the rest of the time it's due. So this will take us through September, for the next payment would be due. Any other discussion?
You said there was other townships.
Yes, other townships have contributed.
Prepaid, so.
Yeah, several townships have prepaid, either all of it or several months worth, and there's just 2 townships that are just doing month to month right now, because they can't afford to do the whole thing in one shot like we have. Again, it's more to help them maintain their financial stability until all their bills start should be within the next month or so, they should start seeing those numbers increase. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Both same sign. Motion's carried. Thanks so much, Dr. Clark. Okay, next up is the AT&T lease. I passed out to everybody what's been the final lease that our attorneys have approved. It was back and forth a little bit before I left on my vacation. And we've got one in and it looked good. Our attorney looked at it and he said, well, there's some things I would change, and a lot of it had to do with language more than anything else. And he said, this benefits you more if we adjust the language to say what it does, and he sent it back to them. And they agreed to it and signed their initial execution of the document. And the attorney has suggested that we wait to sign it until they pay their bill, which I do have a copy of the final invoice from them on email, which I'll provide Mike tomorrow. And once they pay their bill, then he said there's no problem signing it. So I'll make a motion that we approve the 7th Amendment to the lease agreement as written.
Pending payment.
And I'm sorry, pending their payment of the attorney fees.
I'll move.
Or a second.
I'm fine. It's the worst for me. I'll just ask for the motion versus giving the motion. Discussion on this, just so you guys know, AT&T agreed to everything we wanted. So they gave, basically. So just for the details, one is that they're not going to make any changes to the tower itself. They're allowed to replace their equipment, but they can't make any changes structurally or otherwise to the tower beyond what we've already agreed to in the past. So there's still one that they're still working on. I don't think they've finished it out yet, have they? That's what they're up. I seen something they were done with.
I'm not in the loop with a lot of that now. I don't want to misspeak.
Okay, we'll blame it all on Tim then. We'll put Tim up front next time. I'll put Tim up front next time.
Okay.
So anyway, that's they can't make any changes once this is beyond what we've already agreed to. So it's here. And then the lease would be starting out at $38,000 a month. Anyway. No. $38,000 a year. And then it's a 3% increase for those 5 years after that. And then we'll 5 years down the road, 4 years down the road, we'll be doing the next one. So that's the discussion. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Both same sign. Motion's carried. I have nothing on the Verizon lease. That's since I told them they had to provide lawyers, or lawyer fees, and that's the last I heard anything from them. So they still got a couple years left on their lease terms. Currently nothing on the 4-H movement. I do have a meeting next week, I think, with the 4-H president to discuss a few things, but did we say anything to the?
No, we had sent the email out asking for feedback, and
yes.
I sent an email to Aaron saying that we were waiting for board feedback before we sent them our draft.
So you guys were sent an email a couple weeks ago asking for an opinion on the things that Jeannie and I had prepared, things we thought that we should have on our lease. If you haven't, please take a moment to look at it. We would like to get moving forward on that, to working with them. The extension office seems to be real willing to work with us. They just want to know where we stand and what we want to work on. So just to get a chance to look at it again, otherwise we'll get it sent off to them and we'll move forward in that direction. No agreements, it's just our thoughts and ideas, and we'll do the negotiating back and forth as we need to. My legacy talk.
I heard.
Sure.
Cool. So we talked last board meeting about utilizing the See My Legacy platform for community outreach. I've got some junk here for you guys. I had a chance to meet with Boyd again after our meeting to address some of the concerns you guys had, and he met all of them. I was pretty impressed that they were willing to work with us as much as they did. That first page there is sort of their deliverables, I guess, if you want to call it. That's still yours, Bob. No, thanks. So I'm pretty colors. As far as, I think a bigger one was price. They came down, you see page 2, is a quote from them, for $19.99. It's still steep, and as you brought up, Julie, they are willing to work with us if we want to drop out after 6 months. They'll charge us that rate. So that's a big win for me. As far as how do they reach people, they don't reach sponsors for us, but they do make it easier for sponsors to onboard with us, or people who want to do fundraising with us. Other concerns we had, they've got full website integration, so it'll play well with our website when the new one gets up and running. Yeah, you can see that last bit there in the packet I gave you is from Civic Plus, I believe. They do a similar platform. Theirs is more robust than See My Legacy. Theirs does more, but it also costs considerably more. Around to the tune of, what was it?
$8,778.
Part of that is equipment too. Civic Plus requires that you use their card readers to process payments. But all in all, the See My Legacy thing will take a big chunk of the day-to-day stuff that I have to do. It's not program building or facilitation, like answering phone calls for rentals 8 times a day. That's a big one for me, is that people will be able to rent space without having to make a phone call or make multiple phone calls or stop in and pay. That'll be big for me. And also being able to organize community-wide events online, other than Facebook, would be helpful. So I'd like to ask the board to consider purchasing that platform. I should mention the price that you guys have, I sound like a salesman. If we don't approve this tonight, that price goes away, and I'm okay with that. I don't want us to have to be rushed into something that we don't want to do. But if the board thinks it wise that we do this, I'd like to get it as cheap as possible. So. Any questions from you?
Make a motion that we, go with this, See My Legacy platform, the amount of $19.99. That's for the 12-month subscription, but with the, a review within 6 months of the program.
That's reflected in an email I have with Blair. That's not just a verbal agreement. I just collect it and print it and give it to you.
So that's my motion.
You can't move anything.
She can if she wants, but not if I've already made a motion. That's what the discussion is. We have a motion and a second. We have any discussion.
I don't think we should do it right now. We don't even have our own website up and running. I don't think we should spend the money on that yet.
That's fair.
That's just my comment, but I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Where are we at as far as our own website?
I haven't checked on the email, so I don't know whether it's right now they were doing the final build that we gave them everything we needed to do, and I should have seen something like that very shortly. Again, I haven't seen that because that's actually under a separate file to show right on my email right away. So I haven't got through all of them yet. But I should know by tomorrow. It should be very far away. They said spring, so it's where, according to UP weather, we're still 3 months away from spring. So. I'm assuming some of that time within the next month we should be seeing some email. So we're just in the final stuff.
What's this training here?
For Civic Plus, they're heavy on the onboarding through their platform. So
That's not been recommended.
That's not what we're
just,
right.
That's comparable. We found a lot of things with Civic Plus are quite expensive.
Yes,
Much less expensive.
With this other one, do they train you as well?
yeah, we get an agent that will work with me to build out all of the events we have right now, and then move towards building our own new stuff.
So the part-time employee that was just hired there is what, is their schedule like an in-between schedule, or are they there with you to help with the phones, or?
Oh, yeah, it's sort of an in-between schedule, they close, they open.
Cause you said the phones ringing off the hook and all the rentals and all that calling all the time, I didn't know if maybe they could help until the meantime,
They
or?
handle them, especially when I'm not in the office. They can handle those, absolutely. It's not, and I guess I wanna make that clear, it's not that I can't handle doing the phones, the staff can't handle doing it, but I feel my time is better spent not answering the phone as a secretary, as a director of Parks and Recreation.
How long does this pricing good for?
Today.
Oh.
It was good until March. And we swung a deal.
I agree to the package pending our discussion at the meeting here. Not that I agree with the package, totally just agree with us, we can have a discussion, we ask them to check, get information, come back to us. And it was up to the board at that point to make the decision. If it's decided not to go with this program, it goes away or not.
I mean, it's not that we can't work with them again. We just work with $500 more expensive. But there's other things, like that's why I brought Civic Plus today. It's not an NLDL. We don't
Well,
have
if they
to.
really want us to do it, then they'll go back down to the price.
I think it came down quite a bit with the original numbers.
You work with me, quite a bit. But, like you said,
But then in 6 months, we can also turn.
yes.
It's going nowhere.
Any further discussion? Question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Motion is defeated. I think it's a great idea, just.
Yeah. And that's why I brought it.
Full time.
I don't hang my hat on.
Okay, next up, Deputy Treasurer.
I would like to make a motion to appoint Dawn McDonald as my deputy treasurer.
I'll support.
Motion and support, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Let's see. You were COLA, Gina, is yours? COLA?
No, it's for the non-union workers, for
There's no,
supervisors.
I don't think it's paid by, so it's on.
No, I think it's just a flat rate, isn't it? Yeah,
It
here's
should be 3%.
3%.
It's two for,
and everybody else,
I guess, supervisors.
yeah.
Yes, I guess that's what it is. I don't know if she was looking at my
Somebody gonna make a motion?
I'll move, to approve the quotas for the supervisors and the non-union, which are just me, right, besides the supervisors?
Yeah, most of the other department, no, it's not in there.
This would be for the type.
Used to be.
Is-
Used to be for the.
Well, the union,
so those
union gets it anyway.
Is it a conflict for you though,
That's what it's.
For what?
if you're voting for your own race?
No. Alright, I'll think about it.
Make a motion to provide a 3% COLA increase to all non-union employees.
Support.
And motion and support. Any discussion?
How much is that gonna be? we have a total of,
That's my,
that's just me, first of all, that's a lot of numbers to crunch.
Sweet here.
I didn't calculate that.
So is it in our budget?
Yes.
You guys always get these right when I'm in training or not here.
next time call out ahead of time.
Yeah, check this out.
I thought we did. He said right away he was.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Both same sign. Motion's carried. Okay, now we're going to post to the lab operator. Yes. Would you like, Greg?
Well, I'd just like to post, ladder operator position for Rick Armstrong. Like you said before, he's looking at, he turned in his paperwork for June 5th. This, by the time we get it posted and get someone found, we'll give him about just a smidge over a month to train. And hopefully we can get ahead of being able to have them work weekends before their weekends come back up and someone else doesn't have to come.
Is this going to start as an inside posting first?
Yes, I expect it's probably not to go outside.
Someone make a motion?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Motion to post for lab operator for DPW. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Both same sign. Motion's carried. Okay. I want to clear the other golf course stuff before I go to the liquor license.
Okay.
Golf course, three things they want to look at.
You have a whole pile of quotes, and my apologies, I wanted you to have these earlier to review, but we had hiccups, so, you have them now, but we budgeted for, several items that are needed on the bar restaurant side of the clubhouse that we don't have, that are kind of, we went, I don't know, we got through last year with, things that, members and friends and things had brought in to make do so we could get by. But when we built the budget, we put in $3,000 to be able to purchase tables and chairs for half of the space inside, figuring that we could still use some of the tables and chairs that we have that belong to the Township Hall to fill the gap, so that we didn't have quite as big of an expense. So I have 3 quotes included for half the seating. It would be 48, seating for 48, and then I think 8 tables, 8 4-top tables. So I'm asking that we go with the Wayfair Pro quote. They are the least expensive. The items that I selected are, while they're not top of the line, they are commercial quality, so it's not like a residential or household type stuff. So I guess that's the first set of quotes. Then I have a second set of quotes for a separate line item we had in the budget, or a separate amount we had in the budget to purchase a display cooler to put drinks in. Since we don't have anything up there for refrigeration, we used 2 household refrigerators last year that our members were kind enough to let us use, and a freezer from the Township Hall, as well as an ice bin to go underneath a bar that we are also budgeted to construct up there, and 2 stainless steel tables. We have no prep tables, we have no tables whatsoever to be able to put anything that would resemble food or drink safely on to serve or sell. So I also have a quote in there. The lowest one for that was also Wayfair, which is in the email. So if you have any specific questions, but essentially I'm asking you to approve the quote for Wayfair for the tables and chairs, the quote for Wayfair for the display cooler, ice bin, and 2 stainless tables. And then, you know, to also, I guess, seek your approval for us to move forward with, constructing a bar up at the clubhouse.
Doesn't know what to do with all the quotes.
Still looking.
Everybody else, it's like 3 quotes. Oh, shit. They don't give one, so it's like, no.
No.
I think that the motion should be made, starting just with the table chairs and the restaurant equipment. I mean, that can all be under one motion
I'll make that motion.
to purchase from.
Purchase from Wayfair for the tables, chairs, and the coolers, ice bin, and craft table.
Have a second?
I'll second it, so I can have a discussion.
A motion and a second.
Okay.
To purchase the restaurant tables and chairs and coolers and ice chest, that stuff, from Wayfair.
Right. I'm not a fan of Wayfair, but, the chairs from, let's see, the Home Depot versus the chairs from the Wayfair. I mean, you said they're not top quality, but they're professional quality?
They're like a commercial grade. So you can see eight of the bar stools from Home Depot was almost $1,000. They're $117 a piece. The ones from Wayfair are the same size, virtually the same construction, much less. I actually stopped the Home Depot quote at seating for 32 because it was more than $1,000 over what we were, what I had for Wayfair. I checked locally. I reached out to Erickson's because, you know, they have that big league that supports and patronizes the golf course. And I thought, well, you know, like maybe they would be able to do it. They don't do restaurant type furniture. I reached out to the distributor I worked with and asked for anybody locally that would be doing good used display coolers or anything like that. He didn't really have a contact for me. I feel like I did a lot of due diligence looking at, just unfortunately there's nowhere locally that I could be able to do it, and freight becomes a gigantic hurdle when you order online. So that was another thing that kind of led me towards Wayfair, is that they offer free shipping, and the other places were charging, you know, some of them were charging almost $1,000 to deliver. And we did budget for it. I mean, we specifically set the money aside for these items in the budget.
And the way stuff is going up, better snag them while the getting's good. 35% probably on everything.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of making the purchase of the furniture and the restaurant equipment?
Are we doing it for the actual prices or not to exceed 3,000 for each?
I was hoping that you would just do not to exceed 3,000 because they are quotes that I did get online. So I don't know if the price will fluctuate. I don't want you to approve me to go over budget. I just want to be able to, if it's up or down a couple $100, not have to come back to you.
That was to amend his motion to limit to 3,000 for the furniture, and the displays was 3,000, so that was $6,000 for the small limit. With the second, any approval, all right. Motion and second were amended, not to exceed $6,000 total. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried. Bar construction.
I actually didn't know what specifically you wanted from this, but I did want to have a conversation or get your approval or something. The golf course committee also budgeted money to be able to go up to the clubhouse, restore the layout of the restaurant back to the original layout. There is no bar whatsoever in there. There's not a place to serve anybody. So we've got to get something back in there if we're going to try and do events there and make that a usable space. So the committee budgeted $3,000 to construct a bar and also another $3,000 to move the kitchen wall back to the original layout. But I guess I'm just looking for your approval for us to go ahead and move forward with the planning and doing all of that. Like the materials probably will not cost as much, and because we have volunteers doing it, there won't be labor, so I'm expecting it to come in under budget.
The wall will cost me.
I'm expecting it all to come in under budget, so I don't think that it's necessarily a threshold we'd have to come to for approval to purchase. I just want you to know that I want you to approve us making those improvements at the clubhouse.
What's with the wall?
So when CJ's moved in there, they took the original wall.
Right.
We walked in, they bumped it out, what, 3 feet, 4 feet, something like that?
And that was for room inside the kitchen, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it also, when you walk in the door, it also kind of hinders, like if we're gonna put the bar back where it was, like when it was Bill and Helen's bunker. So it kind of restricts your line of sight, and you don't really need that extra room. We're gonna put the wall back. The idea is to frame in a serving, like, or a, I guess you'd call it, almost not really a serving window, but where like somebody working behind the bar could grab the food from the kitchen. We're gonna frame that in, but cover it. So if we ever did put a kitchen back in there, we could just knock that out and that would be there. But we're gonna put the wall back so it's flush with the adjacent wall.
It's the exact layout we're going back to that was
Yes.
in that clubhouse operating for decades.
Yeah, it's, that wall bumped out just in pieces quite a bit.
It wouldn't be cheaper to move like the door, would that be more?
Oh, that'd be
Way
way
more?
more.
I
That's
don't
all.
know.
Oh, you
That's why I
can't,
asked.
yeah,
I
there's a
didn't know.
big window
This-
next to the door,
This isn't
so
gonna
there's
be an
no,
expensive adventure at all.
No,
It's
it's
just gonna be knocks, take a sawzall and knock some nails out. A few studs and some drywall that's back through there.
Any utilities in that wall?
They ran some plumbing for the bar out there, but I think it's PEX. I think we can just pull it out and then rerun it. There's no power or anything in there. It's pretty easy. We've already looked at it, so.
So according to Jeannie said, it's budgeted between the two things, $6,000.
I expect it to be less than that now that we have volunteers that are willing to put in the time and effort to make it happen.
Yeah, I think the wall, I don't anticipate cost near that much for materials and the labor's all volunteer, so.
Okay, so I will make a motion to allow the golf course committee to restore the wall to its original location and to build a bar. I will limit them to $4,000 on their budget. If they need more, they come back and see it.
So it's not to exceed.
So not to exceed $4,000. That's my motion. I have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? You want both of them?
Yeah.
Don't volunteer votes? Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Motion's carried. Hiring of seasonal employees.
Do you guys have the list? Do you have the list of employees? I didn't know. I think most of you know Don and Brian, but this is Brian's course manager, Don's our superintendent. I didn't know if you, I'll go ahead and do it. Okay, so I sent you in your packet there's a list of employees that are seasonal that were with us last year that we're looking to get approval to hire back. Don's employees are gonna be Tom Wall, Dave Postma, Walt Flitz, well, those three. And then Brian's employees are gonna be Tristan McBride, Nisha LaPlante, and Lindsay Masterson. I have their wages there. Those wages have been budgeted. Don's employees come back, he gets 28 weeks with them. Brian gets 25 weeks for his employees, and that has been budgeted. So we're asking that you approve to bring these employees back. Maintenance would be effective as soon as the weather breaks and he can get those guys working. And then Brian's pro shop employees, including Tristan, would be effective when the course is ready to open, which is tentatively always May 15th, but it could be earlier, could be later, weather dependent.
They need training, Brian?
The ones we currently have do not. Probably gonna need a couple more.
You have Tristan McBride out here twice.
Yeah, Tristan is a split employee. He works maintenance side and he works carts up front. So he's like a shared employee. So we have him at two separate areas of the budget. He makes the same wage for both, but it's just we keep he kind of flexes. Did I miss anything?
I'll send this one. You got the last two.
So you're waiting for a year and a half.
Double.
People fighting over motions.
I know.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Plenty of golf course stuff to go around today, guys.
Maximum 25 weeks, maximum 28 weeks, so what's how soon do you think you can get yours going, John? I mean, do you wanna wait, because we give a date, say, and not till after this date.
Oh.
So like say 2 weeks from now, is that enough to,
Oh, yeah.
no earlier than 2 weeks from now?
Right.
Because it'll affect your whole 28 weeks, where Brian, he can start the week before, so we can get at least inventories and that kind of stuff done.
The 28 weeks we had timed out was, I think, I tried to line up the pay periods, but it was like April 4th to October 15th. That ended up being 28 weeks. So like, even if you approved them to come back today, the 28 weeks would get them to October 15th, which is tentatively when.
And they aren't getting any work done today.
No. But I just wanted to let you know, we're definitely not pushing things by asking to bring them back, weather permitting.
They wouldn't all be coming in at the same time. They'd be coming in staged, so.
We want to start. I don't think Brian's crew, I'm not sure what paper it is there. They should need to start before the 10th, which is Sunday, so maybe the 11th. Sunday, Monday, whatever. That's the soonest. I mean, if you can't get on the course, you can't get on the course. Should be able to.
We're open by May 10th, that would be May.
Hey.
I'm hoping,
That'd be awesome, eh?
that would be awesome.
If for whatever reason we see they get sooner, then maybe we'll figure it out. But I don't think we can get it any earlier than that.
Gotta believe.
Yep.
Be believers here.
Right, it's gonna be 60 next week. So I'm gonna show you. Monday next week.
So the 20th, April, done?
My guys?
Yeah.
20th.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. I think we're safe.
Those are the dates, so that would be the motion. Any other discussion on that hiring? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Both same sign. Motion's carried. The question on the supervisor for Christian, is that because he's related? Maybe? Then automatically Brian should be a supervisor and we just take over immediately. Just an automatic. So we need no issue with that. Brian report, will be Brian McClue's reporting. But that's not me. Okay, that's all that. Next is the liquor license question.
Me again.
Jean.
So, there is a liquor license available in Kinross Township, and I've been following this one since last fall. And as far as I know, as of last fall, this was something that we were going to try and pursue, and I, like I said, just saw that this was available. I think that it's an excellent opportunity for the township to be able to control its golf course image, the entire thing up there. I think it would be an opportunity sorely wasted if we didn't consider doing this. So I have included in the packet the license and permit application for a Class C liquor license, which allows for the sale of beer, wine, and spirits on and off premises, so that we can try and get approved to sell both in the clubhouse and on the golf course, which is exactly what we're doing with the special licenses that we approved a couple meetings ago. So this would just be doing what we've done last summer, what we plan to do this summer, and making it something that we can do every day of the golf season. The cost to do it is actually less than what we paid to do our special licenses. But this is going to be a approval process that will take time to get through. So we can't scrap one to do this. We kind of have to do them concurrently, so that we're able to do our events as we had planned for this season. So the costs to apply for the liquor license for on and off premises, to be able to do Sunday sales, to be able to have outdoor service, to be able to, I think I have pretty much everything covered. It's going to be $1,035. That would be an annual fee that gets paid to the liquor commission. if there are no questions on the actual application, what I'm asking from you today is to approve to move forward with this. And then there are two resolutions. One resolution is to name the authorized signers for people in the township who are approved to sign all applications and permits for the liquor commission, and to name me as a point of contact only. Make it explicitly clear, this is for the township, I have no personal interest in this, I'm simply the person doing the paperwork to get the township, to get the golf course back up and running into something that I think has a chance to be profitable and maybe stand on its own 2 feet. And then the second resolution is a local government approval, which is required for the application, saying that you, as a local governmental legislative body, are approving the township to have this license at the Oaks at Kinross Golf Course.
Okay. Switch the 2 resolutions around. Start out with the approval. We're not gonna approve it, but I'll the second. Not that I expect us not to approve it, but we can have some time. Question I have for Chris is what's our next resolution number?
I believe it's 11 and 12. Double check.
6, 7, 8. See another one after that.
It's the 8.
The special license.
Okay, so I'll leave it.
And resolution. This is a regular meeting in Kinross Township. Called to order by supervisor on April 6, 2026, 7 p.m. The resolution was offered. Application for Kinross Township for the following license: on-premise retail license and permit class C and SDN off-premises. We located the Oaks, Kinchlow 50 Woodside, Kinchlow, and found, that's all, it's just the approval of the application. We move a motion for that.
I will make that motion.
I'll second. Any discussion?
So, to be clear, what we passed last time, we still needed to pass in order, so there's no gap, right? In your license.
Because this will be a long process. I would be surprised that if we approved it today and sent the paperwork in tomorrow, that we would have this accomplished by the end of the season.
And just a note, just for, not that we would ever consider this, but if ever we came to the point that we didn't need this license anymore, we could always sell it back, but we can sell it at market value. We're getting a heck of a deal at $1,000. Something that could be sold.
Yeah, we were entertaining buying a license at one point. These are about 70-ish thousand on the secondary market. This one, we just happened to find. It technically wasn't available, but it
This
was.
license that became available was, I researched all the who had the licenses, and then I started digging, and I found this one license in Kinross Charter Township that was approved in 2015. It was approved, so it went away from our allotment in our local governmental unit, but it was never put into use. For 10 years, it sat there approved and was never put into use. So I started asking questions with the Liquor Commission. And I said, how does this happen? How do you have an approved license that's not being used, that nobody else can get? And they said, well, would you like to request a closing review? And I said, yes, I would. And it took about 6 months and a lot of contacting and tracking back and forth. And the Liquor Commission closed the file on that, and the license became available. So this was something that was sitting there that all it took was some research and some questions. And we've got an opportunity that would, at minimum, before, cost us $20,000 to do a resort license.
A year.
$20,000 for the resort license, but then we would have also had to go through all of the work to contact everybody in our county that had a license that was either inactive or escrowed and make an offer to purchase it.
So the $1,000 is the application fee, or that's the cost of the license?
That is the application fee. It's renewable every year. So every year you pay $1,000.
So is there an additional charge for the license, or the application fee is just that?
It's just that. But you only get,
This
I
is
think,
a-
Kinross Charter
I was gonna
Township,
say, yeah.
Once in a
Only
lifetime
gets
event. It's
4
not
of them.
a once in a lifetime deal. I mean, it's just.
In reality, this is an asset for the township.
and if you're not interested in doing any more leasing to like a proprietor to go in and run the bar restaurant, or then what other option are, like, I don't have any more ideas. It's either that or this, to be able to do something with our clubhouse space.
Tis the season, do.
Anything else, Bob? Jack, too?
No, it's just,
Anyone else?
Well, and to be clear, and we talked about this before, the hours are gonna be, this isn't gonna be run like a bar.
This is
Like,
not
this
your
is-
local
this is-
tavern or saloon. This is
This
a
is
golf
this
course
is
bar.
for the golf course.
Right.
At dark, it's closed, it's not open till 2 AM, it's not, you know what I mean? This is for the golf course.
no, I teach an addiction class.
I know.
That's where I was.
I guess with that being said, we probably should make sure we have some rules in place that the board has approved of how it's gonna have to be operated, its hours.
Yeah.
Things like that, so once this all gets done and we get this, then we'll move forward with that next time.
I mean, this is just a way to, it's gonna be a long process, like Jeannie said, this is probably a year away from happening, but
I see the benefit of it, don't get me wrong, I see that it is an asset to the township, I get that.
and then just
That's not
the special licenses we did last year, we made
About
$7,000.
$7,000 in 11 days.
That's for 11 days. I mean, there's so much opportunity there, you know.
Hey, any other discussion? Stop the question, need a roll call, please.
Sarah,
Yes.
Rob,
Yeah.
Sarah,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Caleb is absent, Sierra,
Yes.
and a yes for myself.
And motion carries.
Thank you.
Resolution carries. Next up, second resolution.
Second one's gonna be a certified resolution naming who's gonna be the authorized signers of all of the documents, applications, and anything related to getting this license. So I think Mark and I talked, and we're recommending that it would be Kim and Loretta would be authorized signers. I'm asking that you name me as a point of contact only, somebody that's navigating the paperwork, able to communicate with the liquor commission, authorized to receive information. That's it.
Make that motion?
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second, any discussion?
Should we have two people, like, point of contact to help? Because
Oh, I was gonna say, Mark and Loretta will also be points of contact. They have full rights and privileges. I'm only asking to be a point of contact, just to
Well,
keep
I'm
the
just saying-
process moving.
God forbid something happened, you are no longer available.
Yeah, no, these guys, they have full rights. I'm not asking for any permissions to make decisions, only to communicate.
And then So after then, say the next board, are we gonna have to come back on this to?
Yeah, we'll probably every 4 years have to do a new resolution saying who the signers are.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for the question, roll call please.
Yes, for myself, Matt,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Sierra,
Yes.
Sarah,
Yes.
and Caleb is absent.
Resolution carries.
Last one, then I'm done. Part of the application requires a local governmental approval from the local legislative body, so there is another resolution in here.
That's the first one we did?
Well, you approved doing the application, unless that was. Oh, okay, you switched them,
I switched them.
okay, then we're
I
good.
wanted to approve it, and we wanted to do it before we approved it.
I
Sign it.
gotcha.
I just switched the order. Well, it made sense in the minutes. That's why we're approving the signer. We haven't even approved the application for you. That's just procedural. Public comments, anybody? Anybody?
Online. The Kinross Recreation Center just held their breakfast with the bunny 2 weeks ago, I think. We had around 190 participants, around 90 kids. It was a great turnout. Huge thank you to the Kinross Alliance Club. They provided money for the little goodie bags, and then Division Church for the food.
Anybody else? All righty then, board member comments. Huh?
Well, I can't wait for spring.
Please second.
A second.
Everybody takes all their snow, that's the way. Let's take some of mine with them. I have one to put away. Sarah?
No, but this was in the consent agenda, and about the 2%, and I didn't really, it was done so fast, where is the money going? And what's it going for?
That was,
Pull us out for the next meeting, if I'm
No.
bringing this up?
it's already been, we've already received the check for it, that tells us where it
This
went.
isn't the second one?
No,
No, that, the check came with that.
that's not an application, they just automatically sent it to us.
Yeah, I know, but we had the one that came for the EMS the last time, right? This isn't a different one?
They've sent this one before, but Sioux Tribe has also sent us.
So where did this one go to?
So it should say EMS.
It says on this one that it can go for EMS, road construction, water, sewer, infrastructure. That's why I said, is this the same one that we got last time? I know Sioux Tribe and Bay Mills is two different, I know that, but this came, it says February, but the last one came for fire and EMS, and they got that, but where is this one
Yeah,
going?
that was
How much
last year,
it?
this is a new one.
I know, but where is this one going and how much money was it? That's what
It's
I'm
10,000.
wondering. It just went right all to EMS?
Yeah.
And who decides that is just what I was saying, I just didn't know.
We can bring it back, that's where it went, but that's where, when we look at that number, that's where it went to. They were talking about EMS for all the work that we had done for them.
That's what I was wondering where it went, because they had all this other stuff on there, and I didn't know if it actually went to EMS, or part of it went there, and part went to a different thing, or.
You can bring it back, that's something that we can bring back up to next meeting. And have a
I
discussion
don't
on it.
have any problem with it going there, I'm just saying there was a lot more stuff on there this time than just not to just EMS or fire. Like last time it was just directly to EMS and fire, this time it has like a bunch of different things on there.
Because the way it was read was that they would greatly appreciate the Kinross and EMS a mutual aid agreement in partnership with Bay Mills Emergency Connection. Over the last several years, Kinross and EMS has come to the aid of the Bay Mills community. When our units were already on service, a caller supplied covering service, and Baydale suffered from staffing issues. In 2023, Kinross EMS responded to 60 911 calls throughout the zip codes of 99715 and 2728. I'm extremely grateful for the wonderful team that cares for the health and safety of the entire Eastern Peninsula. So based on that information, we moved it to EMS. That was what they were appreciating us for. Although we could use it for whatever.
Right.
So just making sure we had the money for EMS.
Yeah. Right, because last time it didn't say all those other things,
No.
that's the only reason why I was
Last time
asking.
it was just so we could put whichever they want and we put it towards fire department.
EMS and fire, didn't it?
Yeah, there was,
Yeah.
there were two separate.
This time had a bunch, so we might wanna watch that for future. That's the only thing I wanted to ask about.
Loretta?
Special meeting on May 5th?
Selection.
Election?
Yeah.
It's a special meeting.
Special election, sorry.
Election on May 5th.
And you get to vote while you're there. Everyone votes.
Sarah?
Thank you, and job well done to our volunteer fire department. Was that your call, that was your first call out of
No, it was the third.
the out of the temporary?
Yeah, we've been in that building for 6 days and we've been called out 3 times.
Jeez.
Curse, so. Either way you look at it, it's a curse. Welcome. Yeah, thanks. But no, first one was a rollover on I-75, second one, obviously the ambulance accident over there at the corners, and the third one was a pressure fire over there.
I'm sure it's challenging.
Okay, it's only for a short time.
And the good news is all the gear bags came in today, so I get to hand those up, so.
Nice job.
Maybe.
Just a note, I should put a supervisor report, but I thought about it. Bob said something, it's kind of the way he said it, I thought about it. I got a text from Loretta while I was on vacation, showing me a picture of our illustrious cardboard trailer out there and the garbage that was left out there, and I'm quite disappointed with some of the people in our township. I did everything I could do to get us a nice piece of equipment, and people are still treating it like crap. That's quite disappointing. We're gonna be putting up a sign at some point before the breaks and explain, because people don't understand, they think we're providing the service, and we are not providing the service. We are only responsible for making sure it gets taken care of. And we haul out there, we don't even have to haul it. I can tell them to come haul it, we don't have anything to do with it. But it looks bad unless it's messy. So we're putting up signs, we're letting them know that this is a service provided by Northern Transitions through the Chippewa County Recycling, and that they are the ones responsible for dealing with all the stuff that's out there. And then we'll put some rules up out there, and that's all I got.
Essentially littering. If there's no room in that trailer and you set a box down by it or on top of it or wherever, you might as well throw it out in your yard because the wind's gonna blow it, and
Right.
you'll see when the snow melts, there'll be that field right there will be full of cardboard and other
What I was hoping is that
things,
the
so.
camera I put up there would be helpful, and it has not been helpful. It's not keeping track of the people. And by the time we find out about it, I go back and look 3 days, I got maybe 4 or 5 videos, and none of them show anybody getting damage. So that's not helpful. Once we get the new system from Spectrum up, we'll at least get a better view of it. Maybe do a little better with seeing what's going on, because they'll constantly monitor that. The way this camera's set up, we can't do that. Even though it's on there, but it goes away after 3 days, we don't check it and find out. So I don't monitor it unless it gives me a notification, and I can get notifications. Because that hasn't been doing this. But anyway, I'm just pleased with some of the people out there just think they just leave garbage. Full boxes just laying around in there. That's wrong. Just don't get people.
Same ones are showing up to our compost pile.
Yeah, probably the same ones. Anyway.
One more thing, the fire department, you're gonna see us out and about, doing training days, we're gonna do it, over on the streets and in the public eye. I haven't talked to the rec center yet, but, we're planning to do a couple trainings there on our Tuesday nights and our Saturday mornings, just to.
Okay.
Is that right now, Mr. Director? I mean, we can do that anytime we want. Trust mobile, you know, it goes anywhere. We can raise his house. No, just, we're gonna start doing that, so, just to get an image out there of what we do, what we're training, and so people can see what we're doing.
Awesome, thanks, Brian. Nothing else before the board? Meeting is adjourned.